So, hello everybody. It's a great pleasure for me to be here in front of you and to moderate this session, even if I think it's a little bit challenging now in this end of the day, late time. Everybody is tired, I'm sure. Even we had really a fascinating day today with a lot of great presentation. But I'm sure also that the upcoming talks will also energize you and me, because these flash talks, it's exactly that what we would like to have. We have received 15 poster submissions, and 10 of you, the posters authors, took the possibility to present and promote their research results and upcoming research, which we all of us with the organizing committee, we thought it's very important to dedicate some time for the posters also, because of course a conference, it's always delimited, so we cannot give the floor for everyone for a full oral presentation, but also the posters are really important, and I hope this highlight help all of us, and I encourage you to take some notes in the lovely abstract books, and so after you can go and ask the colleagues and discuss later on about the topics, because these flash talks, as you might know, it's a delimited time frame. We have 40 minutes, and I would ask everyone, only each presentation will have only 3 minutes. I will be quite strict, I was asked to, and no question allowed here. So after this session or tomorrow morning, still you can go and discuss with the colleagues about their project, about their research results. I would like to call the attention also that on our conference webpage you will find, already you find all of the posters, so even later on you can get to know them if you didn't have time, but I'm sure most of you already visited them, and they are, or you can find them in the main hall of the research center. So, I would like, we decided that we will go on, we follow the session themes today. So first I will ask on the floor the session Children in Society, the related posters. And first of all, I will call Erika Gál, please. And we will try with you. I will sit there, and I might warn you when we are in 1 minute, just to show you, so okay. You know, more or less.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon. I'm Erika Gál, zooarchaeologist in the Institute of Archaeology here in this research center. And together with my co-authors, archaeologist Mária Bondár and anthropologist Piros Karács, who is also here in the room, we decided to prepare a poster about a rare type of bone tool that was recently found at the Baden culture site in Balatonlelle in southern Transdanubia. The bone tool is the so-called mandible-based tongue smoother that was used for cleaning, stretching, and smoothing the spiral-cut leather tongues over the various parts of the mandible. The mandible of an animal, usually a cattle mandible, as in our case. These tongues and straps later could be used in driving and harnessing animals, in clothing, in fixing tools to handles, in the construction of dwellings, in the transport of wood, and so on. The Balatonlelle specimen is outstanding because it is one of the oldest and best preserved specimen, tongue smoother, and the only one ever found in a grave. Moreover, this burial contained the remains of an approximately 10 years old child, and the tongue smoother was the only bone tool in the grave. Although there is no evidence that the tonguesmussor actually belong to the child, the context of the finding and the level of work smoothing tongues with such kind of tool draw our attention to the possibility that children may have been also involved in the production of straps. Should you be interested in the use wear marks, for example, or any other detail of our study, please visit our poster in the hall and check our related publications that are to be found open access on the internet. Thank you for your attention.
It was super. Even less than 3 minutes. Thank you very much. I would like to call Jennifer Porci now, and I give the floor to you, please. Thank you. You just step on because we put all the slides in one.
Okay. Okay. Hello, I'm not Jennifer Porci. Jenny had a little accident in the earlier coffee break, but I will speak on her behalf and just read it out loud. So. So, dear colleagues, my name is Jennifer Porci, and I'm going to present my poster upon my master thesis on deviant child burials in medieval Central Europe, dealing with the question how parental grief responses, religious notions, and superstitions can influence the burial behavior. The overall aim of the thesis was to gain new insights into the social role, value, and cultural perceptions of children based on the way they were buried. By investigating graves that deviate from the surrounding burial standards, I also wanted to investigate the variability of medieval burial behavior and outline how we can decode the expressions of parent-child relationships from the archaeological record. So a major key focus, therefore, or thereby, was to differentiate between a modified burial rite that was applied to one single individual and age-specific funerary treatments that were used for an entire age group within a community. The thesis was also supposed to challenge the common interpretation of deviant burials as something that is related to a fear of the undead, to revenants, or to anything else that is somehow evil. Instead, the findings revealed that non-normative child burials often reflect a wide range of emotional responses to the death of a child. While apotropaic practices addressing a fear of the dead are evident, it seems that deviating burial treatments, such as the inclusion of special grave goods, designated burial locations just for the children, or specific body arrangement, can also express grief coping strategies and parental efforts to provide for the child's well-being in the afterlife. Furthermore, elaborate child burials might highlight the recognition of lost potential, where the community acknowledges a child's social identity and anticipated future. These examples contrast the general assumption that children in medieval society lacked social agency or were undervalued. Instead, they suggest that children were seen as individuals with unique roles even after death. So in conclusion, I want to argue, or Jenny wants to argue, that non-normative child burials cannot be understood just as an expression of fear or superstitions. Rather, they illustrate a complex interplay of cultural beliefs, emotional coping strategies, and social considerations surrounding childhood death. Thank you very much. And if you want to talk about this with Jenny, she will be back. I don't know if she can make the conference dinner, but tomorrow she will be there, and she loves to talk about her master thesis, so feel free. Thank you.
Would you like to call Renee right now? Okay, please, just step forward.
Okay. Great. So my second slide does have skeletal remains in it, and I do have permission from the descendant community to share that image. Over the last decade, my colleagues and I have excavated over 1,000 burials from a medieval cemetery in the Carpathian Basin in Transylvania. And from these thousands of burials, or 1,000 burials, we really see a wide age range, from those of the very old to those of the very young. And for my master's thesis, I focused on those of the very young, perinates, which are defined as individuals who died at or around the time of birth. So just to kind of give a big picture, which was talked about in a lot of the talks yesterday, actually, canon law kind of really regulated burial rites in a lot of ways. And one really big central sacrament was baptism. So the idea that was really pushed is that individuals who are not baptized should be buried separate from this sacred ground and not given full burial rites. But as we saw with scholarship in our papers that were presented yesterday, communities across Europe reacted to these mandates in a variety of different ways. And so for my master's research, I wanted to see how settlers in the Carpathian Basin reacted to these large mandates. And by doing this, I looked at statistics and I compared these perinates with all of the other age groups. I looked at sex, location, orientation, position, single or multi-person interment, and grave goods to get an understanding of the personhood and perception of community members on these individuals. And for the results, you can check out my poster. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we are going on to the next topic of our session 3, Feeding with Love. So I would like to call the related poster. First, Michael, Ellen, Leidelanto.
Okay. 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 No, I'm not. We make a change?
Okay. So in that case,
we make a change.
Sorry.
Ah, okay.
Maybe we just step.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael. I'm a postdoctoral researcher in University Sapienza in Rome. I'm involved in a ERC project Mothers, led by Professor Alessia Nava, which talk tomorrow and explain our project and how the dental enamel who help in mother-infant nexus. Move on in my poster. I'm talking about weaning and duration of weaning because this is a topic that arises from my last year experience because I became a father. So I'm interested in parental care. I'm curious about the weaning because weaning is a critical moment in a child's life because by weaning depends the development but also the surviving of child in the past society. So I start with with the sample of my PhD thesis, a sample from population from Central Italy Iron Age, the Piscine. For my PhD, I performed bulk analysis of stable isotope, carbon and nitrogen, and also dental histology for the health status. Starting from these two methods, I tried to perform first of all, the worn air packages is a statistic, Bayesian statistic analysis in bulk nitrogen isotopes for understand which start and which and when finish the weaning. But also I perform an high resolution analysis in tooth enamel by of trace elements, strontium calcium and barium calcium ratio via laser ablation inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometer. So in this second case, we have the chronology, a more precise chronology of life of the children, and we try to understand the beginning, and if we are lucky, and have the other tooth, also the end of the weaning. So that's all.
So please apologize me. It was my fault. I mixed up. So Nika Verdi now, please come back. And you are still your poster related to the children in society.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you.
okay. Today I'm just doing spontaneous things. So hello, my real name is Dominika Verdiano, not Jennifer Porci. And so the topic that I did for my poster was keeping the children close, funerary practices, kinship and social identity of the children during the early Bronze Age. And I'm presenting the case study of an Unitid sculpture site, which is called Ulrichskirchen and is located in Lower Austria. And as you can see on the left side, it includes a cemetery of 12 inhumation graves and also 5 settlement pits. So, as you can see here, my poster focused on the non-adults especially. So here you have 3 graves, including the non-adult individuals, and also a settlement pit here, which are marked in orange. The graves are marked in red. So in the settlement pits, you see 2 adults and also 2 non-adults. One is over here at the very left top, and the other one is underneath the adult over here in a prone position. So what I wanted, what I did during my master thesis was compare these 2 features or the 2 feature types, and find out how the positions of human remains can be set into context of the funerary practices, and also what possible interpretations there are for the deposition of human remains in the settlement pits. But as I said, my poster focuses more or less only on the non-adults. So I used a variety of methods to answer my research questions, but I really want to highlight the amylogenine peptide analysis, which we did in cooperation with the Medical University of Vienna, and also ancient DNA, which was possible because of the project of Katharina Ribe-Salisbury, the value of motherhood to society. And in the results of the DNA, it was also possible to identify a mother and her 2 sons. And if you want to know more about the mother and her relation to her 2 sons and what reopenings and skull removals have to do with infant burials at this Unitid culture site, you have to come and have a look at my poster. Thank you.
Okay, now we are going again back to the feeding with love session topic. So I would like to call Christian Fisch to present.
Okay, so welcome everyone. In the next few minutes I'm trying to tell you absolutely nothing on my poster presentation since I don't want to spoil anything, otherwise you wouldn't come to the poster to check what's on it. However, I need to fill at least 1 minute based on the rules, so yeah, I will start it. As you maybe already know, there used to live people in the past as well. And this golden rule is true for the area of today's Budapest as well. For example, during the 1st and the 5th centuries, the Roman Empire has a presence here with the province named Pannonia. And it was a really well infrastructured location in the Roman Empire. We can characterize it by the presence of military camp, military hospitals, civic towns, and also villa estates. And there is now a larger project running and investigating the northeastern part of Pannonia, led by Anna Széchenyi, and this project also have a subpart for anthropology, for which the main goal is to assess the health of the past populations and to reconstruct the lifestyle of these past populations. And for this presentation, for the poster, now we are presenting the results of a site from a villa estate. And In this site, we could identify altogether 30 individuals, and half of these individuals were subadults, so younger than 20 years old. And there were some interesting cases, like a severe head injury to a 7-8 years old individual, which maybe had a fatal outcome or not. I cannot say what is the truth. And also one phenomenon I wanted to mention in these 3 minutes is that half of the subadults had non-specific signs of non-specific pathophysiological stress mediated by some kind of pathological alteration. And for one individual, we saw something very interesting, hint for one specific infection, but I also cannot tell you anything. Sorry for this. You have to find your answers by your own. And maybe you will find it, maybe not. And maybe I will be there, maybe not, for helping you. Life is a mystery. This is all a mystery, and science is also a mystery sometimes. So thank you for your attention.
So good afternoon. Well, I think I will be a spoiler. Sorry. Okay. So most of you are aware of the bruxism, which is a oromandibular behavior characterized by involuntary tooth grind or clenching. It is a quite common finding in pediatry, but in bioarchaeological context, it's quite rare. We have like 2 cases published. One it is Galileo Galilei, and another one, a possibility, the King Charles of England. My sample, this work is part of my PhD, and these 2 infants belong to a very large necropolis excavated in Lisbon from the modern period, and both have an estimated age of death of 2.5 years. So what we have that stood out was the very marked occlusal wear, especially in the first individual, in the right side. As you can see, the canines and even the first and second molars have a very marked wear on the occlusal surface. On the other case, we don't have all of the teeth, but we also have some marked wear, especially in the canines and in the lower one. What we thought is that with only 2.5 years, there's no functional time to have this kind of wear exclusively by the mastigatory process. So we had to find another explanation for this. And there's the point where we think about the bruxism as a possibility. So this is a process that with a prolonged mechanical stress that accelerates the tooth wear and can justify this. Apart from this, the patterns and the localization of this wear also point in that direction. One of the authors of the poster is Dr. Júlio Fonseca, which is a dentist with a PhD in bruxism, and it was fundamental to give us some idea, and he strongly agrees with this diagnosis. Of course, there are limitations. We don't have comparative data. The patient cannot complain about some pain or even the noise that the grinding can have, but the point of these cases is also to highlight the possibility of this diagnosis, especially because bruxism is also associated with the psychological and physiological factors of stress that can be present in very young ages, such as these cases. So thank you.
And now we turn on the last topics of our conference, Child in Space. And I would like to call John. Yeah? No, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit mixed. Evelyn Tecker is still in the feeling with love.
Good afternoon, all. I am Evrim and I am anthropologist from Turkey. And today I would like to share a brief of my research, which is about bioarchaeology and molecular approach to the sex and burial practices of sub-adults. And as we know, infant and children always overlooked in archaeology, both of archaeological and anthropological studies. And the most demographic research focuses on age and disease, but biological sex is a key of identity, is rarely investigated. So this, a part of this study tried to fill this gap using ancient DNA to explore sex and burial practices in the past community. And the one Castle Mount, which is located the eastern of Turkey, and that late medieval to early modern age. The mortality rate of sub-adults in this community and this archaeological site is higher than that of individuals. And another additional of this, a review of archaeological literature with a focus particularly eastern of Turkey. Van Kesselmouth is known the actually highest sub-adult mortality rate. And what did we do for genetic studies? And we analyzed actually femoral petrous bone from 53 individuals buried in a necropolis area. And for the purpose of this genetic sex determination, amylogenin also used, and was successfully amplified using XXDR kits. Molecular methods were successfully achieving a rate of 81%. Molecular and archaeological findings said to us actually grave goods like as bracelet beads found 5 buried children, and 4 of whom were male. And as a result of anthropological examination of these individuals revealed also anemia due to the iron deficiency, which is linked to the high mortality rate and practices of mothers weaning their babies at early age. But we need to analyze for more samples because no significant differences was found between the sexes. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon, and thank you to the organizers for organizing this wonderful conference, the timing of which was really great because my collaborators and I are gearing up for our upcoming field season, which started in 2013, focused on broad bioarchaeological questions in the secular region of Transylvania, which you can see, for those that might not be aware, the secular region is in central Romania, formerly part of Hungary prior to the First World War. So in 2013, an international team from Canada, the United States, and from Romania started a collaboration to focus on varieties of questions related to the secular past, and broadly, the broader Hungarian past. And this work has been in a collaboration with the Hazroza Museum and Dr. Zsolt Naradi, and has focused on a variety of salvage excavations throughout the secular region. We focused our work in 6 different villages since 2013 and have recovered well over 1,000 burials divided between a variety of age cohorts. The text got a little smaller than 18, so I apologize if you can't see, but there have been 624 non-adults of varieties of ages that our project team has inventoried that has really opened up many different questions about this particular region over a period of time from about the 11th to the 19th centuries. Our field school starts on Sunday. If you're interested, we invite you to Udvarhely. We're going to be there until early August, and thank you very much.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and thank you for the organizers for the opportunity to present at this flash talk and talk a little bit about a region and a culture that's a bit different than from what we've heard about today. So my poster is about children and death in ancient Mesopotamia, and the title, Little One Who Dwelt in the House of Darkness, I have borrowed from an ancient Akkadian lullaby. And in this, the House of Darkness is a metaphor for the mother's womb, but it is also a commonly used expression for the netherworld. These lullabies are among the few textual sources that we have about children in an otherwise vast and really well-recorded written record of Mesopotamia. Other sources are birth rituals and medicinal texts, contracts for adoption, weaning, and apprenticeship of children, literary compositions, personal letters, school texts, as well as rations and census lists. As in Hungarian archaeology, the focus on children arrived quite late in this field, and the few studies that have dealt with them were mostly historical, astrological in their perspective. But I believe that much more information can be gained from taking these textual sources together with the archaeological evidence. And this is what I try to do. This is my goal is by reassessing child graves from published material of actually really old excavations. And the first preliminary results of this ongoing study is what you can read about on my poster. By taking a number of aspects from the burial rite on multiple sites and over a long period of time, a number of changing trends become visible, pointing to a growing similarity between the child and the adult burial rite, and perhaps to a change in the conceptualization of children's death and their place in the netherworld and the community of ancestors, which is central to the Mesopotamian worldview as a whole. And there's many questions. I'm still just starting out with this, but this is what I have brought for you today. And if you're interested, you can find my poster in the hall, and you can also find me. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.